Hello and welcome to Yogventures Developers Video Log number 14. My name is Chris, and in today's episode I want to go over some of the changes that we've made to the alpha, go over some announcements, and show you some of the new features that we're working on, and talk about what the plan is going forward. So to just get started, let me just go over some of the new features. One of the biggest things that we've been working on since the last video update is this side toolbar over here. And if you take a look over here, we'll just open up the materials tab. So this toolbar is going to represent some of the tools and the area where the tools for the map makers is going to exist. This isn't going to be something that's available in adventure mode. At least it's not planned that way right now. These are just tools that we're going to have available to the map makers when they're actually creating their maps, and they're just made to help them get to items quicker. So as you can see, right now I have a bunch of materials listed here. These are just our first pass at materials. We're definitely going to be updating these as we go along, and hopefully making mechanisms so that we can actually allow you guys to tweak these and make them your own in some way. We haven't fully worked out how modding is going to work quite yet. It's still too early for that, but we are thinking about it and trying to lay in the groundwork to make it as easy as possible. But as you can see, as I switch through these materials, my cursor out there is changing too. Now, I've added a couple of modifier keys so that you can control the camera a little better when you're trying to interact with the world and build things. So if you hold the control key, you'll get the camera to be in a fixed position, and if you hold the alt key, you'll get the mouse to be free from the cursor, and that's nice if you want to be able to like leave your cursor where it was, but like swap through some of the materials to see what it looks like with a different material on it. So that's really how the materials browser is working. So let's go over the next tab, which is the blocks browser. So the blocks browser also changes material based on what you have selected. So right now I have this really dark material selected. And the materials work both in your inventory and in the material selector. So if we select a different one, you'll see these blocks now change. And if I select one of these blocks, you'll see my cursor is also changing. Now again, I'm holding Alt key so that my cursor is not moving around. And if I let it go, you see it moves around again. So it's nice to be able to hold the Alt key and come over here and select a different block, and then come back and start placing it however you like. So yeah, this is going to make it a lot easier. I know it was a pain to cycle through the blocks before we had this browser, and I do apologize for that. But you know, these things take time, and we're building all these new features in as fast as we can, and getting it out there as fast as we can to everyone. So these are just like some braces that you could make, or some decorative items, and that's what I really want to emphasize, is that a lot of the building tools that we have are going to be things that are not blocks, like spheres and prefabs and things that will make a real difference when you're trying to build a very specific object. So let me show you what I'm working on for this demo scene here. If we go into first person mode by hitting F5, you see that we can hit F and fly around a little bit. So I'm working on this little castle here, and I apologize for the frame rate. I think Fraps has given me a little bit of trouble today. The overall, the speed has been improved a lot by our programmer. We brought in a new programmer who's been helping me out a great deal, and one of the first things that he did was rewrite our noise algorithm so that it's C++ instead of C#, and that ended up giving us quite a speed enhancement. So a little later on I'll show you some of the building and why and how that's manifests itself in better speed. So yeah, you can see I can move around pretty quickly, and if I hold control key while I'm in first person, like I said, you can move your cursor wherever you want. Control also extends the distance that your cursor can go out to, so if we really wanted to, we could build pretty far out. Now you notice that when I was clicking one time there, we were actually getting more than one block, so I kind of got ahead of myself. So let's delete those blocks real quick. Okay. So if we look down at the bottom left hand corner now, we have these modes called single and column, and these are just the first modes that we've got working so far. We have a lot of modes planned and a lot of different tool sets planned. So in single mode, you build just like you're used to. You're building one block at a time. And in column mode, what you're actually doing is building up to or down to where you are. So in this case, we're above where we're going to be clicking. So we're going to build a column all the way up to where we're standing. So see, now we can build these columns and towers much quicker, and you don't have to sit there and click in order to build what you want. And like I said, we extend the distance the cursor can reach, so we can build all the way down there. We can even build all the way down here if you really wanted to build some giant walls or something. Then this is just an easy way to make that possible. And if you make a mistake, just switch back to the pickaxe and you can dig just as far down as well. This is something that's really made it very easy to build these big epic builds a lot faster, and it's something that I've been working on for a little while, and I'm pretty happy that it's finally in and working as we expected it to. So the last thing I want to go over is the character customization is also getting moved over into these tabs. So if you look over here and we switch to one of our hero characters, Zaphos, he's also got a little bit of an upgrade. We've remodeled his shirt and given him some new textures. He's looking really good. So in these windows now, we're able to quickly scroll through and see what all the different options are for each of these different categories, which makes designing your character a lot faster and a lot easier. And I think it's going to make it a lot more enjoyable to create NPCs and save them off. We're going to add some buttons up here to load and save your characters, and you're going to be able to customize them however you like and save them wherever you want. And we're not just limited to just the body elements. Like, we can do everything from his head, all the different head types, variations and stuff like that, but we can also do his equipment in here. And again, this is just for the map makers. The adventure mode, when you're playing a game and you want to have like an inventory and a character sheet and that sort of stuff, that's going to be separate from this. This is just to let map makers make their bad guys and player and NPCs that they want to populate their adventure with. This is just letting them customize those NPCs quickly and easily, and then save it off. So that's what this is really for. But as you can see, it's really simple to just play around with some of the awesome options that the modelers and texturers and our whole art team has been working on to give it to you. So let me just go over the fun little addition. We haven't had all the characters in until now, so I wanted to go over some of them. The girls are still a work in progress, so please don't. We'll have them in the next video. The current iteration isn't quite done. So Honeydew, we've seen him before. His textures are a little messed up in this one because they're all shared textures. So we're working on updating them all to these new models that we just created. Zaphos, we've seen him. And then we've got Duncan in his lab coat. And of course Sips, looking like a badass. Shin, his hair textures are still a work in progress. And his beard is probably going to go through another revision as well to make it look even more Shin-like. Then we've got Martin. He looks very, very cool. Rithian, you saw in our last video. He does look like quite the adventurer. Strippin, manly man. Nilesy, he's very proper and still ready for action. Professor Griswold, again, his beard textures are not right. We still have our other customizer still in here. This will go away in favor of having it all integrated in our side panel over here. But for now, it's still there so that we can do some final adjustments. And then finally, we've got Fumblemore, and of course, his textures are also still coming along. So we're eager to get him finished, but that's his current look right now. So his boots need some more work, and we're going to keep refining as we go. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on where we are and where we're going. So this version of the alpha is called version 3.0, and I'm going to go ahead and release this to all the alpha level backers probably tonight, maybe tomorrow morning if it takes too long for the servers to update. And then the closed beta is actually going to begin in 2 weeks at the end of August. I'm going to make that a hard date. We were shooting to have multiplayer in by then, but it's just not looking like we're going to get there in time. So we're going to go ahead and release this version of the game with a few more enhancements, fix some of those textures that are still missing, and just get it out there to everyone who's been waiting patiently. We can't thank you enough for all your support and help, and I know that it's been a long journey to get here, and I just think that everyone's waited long enough, and that it's time that we go ahead and get the game out into everyone's hands and let them play around with it. It's definitely playing at a lot faster clip. It's working on a lot more wide variety of machines, so I think that it's ready for you guys to give it a try. Just please remember that this is just the very first stages of beta. We're going to be working on the multiplayer first as our next big feature, but then there's going to be a lot of changes that are going to happen, so don't fall in love with any of the creations you make right now, because things will change, and you'll have to we're all going to have to like roll with the punches until then. But yeah, I'm excited because this marks the moment when everyone who's backed the game is going to be able to get in and start playing and having fun with it, and start giving us feedback about what they'd like to see, what they like, what they don't like. And, you know, as a community, we'll start building the game the way you guys want to see it. So it's very exciting stuff. I'm very happy that you've given us this opportunity, and that you've been so patient and helpful throughout the whole process. I'm really sorry for the delays. It's been a real big learning experience for all of us, the whole team involved, but we're feeling really confident about the game now, and I can't wait to see what you guys build with it, and we can't thank you enough. So until next time, my name is Chris. It'll still be Chris next time as well, but I have been Chris.